You are still listening to Fever Dream Diaries, so you could say we're BFFs at this point. That's why we want to invite you to join the Fever Dream fam. Visit anchor.fm/Fever Dream Diaries to subscribe. For the low monthly cost of $4.99, you'll get access to new podcast episodes before anyone else, exclusive bonus episodes, live stream opportunities with yours truly, plus you'll be signed up to receive our monthly newsletter, merch giveaways, and more. Head to anchor.fm/Fever Dream Diaries to sign up today. Once you subscribe, all premium content will be available wherever you listen to podcasts. We can't wait for you to join the Fever Dream fam. It's Fever Dream Diaries, the podcast where we give you way too much information about our past. It's Hayley and my girl Becca in studio to unpack some more dirty laundry. Well, Becca, here we are, 1 month away from the reunion. Almost paid $200 for our tickets. This better be good. What is that?
I cannot believe $200.
Listen, they better feed me some gold encrusted steaks.
Open bar?
That goes without saying there better be an open bar. Anywho, you know what? I'm not gonna be salty about it because I'm very excited. I've been trying to mentally prepare. Have you been doing the same?
Yes, I have. So since we last saw each other, it's been a while. I miss you.
Miss you more.
But we have been catching up via text. You know what I've been watching on my free time.
Oh, one of my personal favorites, whatever it takes.
So Degrassi. The Next Generation. 21 years ago, this show premiered, changed both of our lives forever. We didn't even know each other yet.
Right.
But I have been rewatching, and I feel like we have a lot to talk about.
Degrassi, for better or for worse, raised me.
That's so true.
You know, it really did. And I have rewatched it many a times throughout my life since it came out. So tell me, what are some highlights that you're experiencing?
Well, I'm currently on season 5. Anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, because it is pretty obscure.
You think so?
Oh, they know.
Yeah, I feel like anyone listening to this must have seen Degrassi. They wouldn't have gotten this far with us without having known Degrassi, I feel.
That's true. I mean, I'm thinking of my personal experience rewatching it with my boyfriend. He's never seen it. He didn't have the N growing up. He didn't have that channel.
Oh, he didn't get Noggin, huh? He didn't subscribe.
Cable.
How embarrassing.
I mean, personally, I think I had those extra premium cable packages just so that my parents had more things to distract us.
Absolutely. Same. Yeah, that's why we had that. Our parents didn't want to deal with us.
Endless TV. There was no... My parents could never... They would always just say, like, you can find something. There's 300 channels.
And that's why we're so creative today.
We were watching Canadian broadcasting.
And we always just had to find something to do. And we did.
Absolutely. And that's definitely part of the reason we became such close friends so quickly. Most of our friends around us had, you know, parents watching.
I mean, you make our parents sound crazy and I love it. We have good parents. The thing is, our parents are too hardworking for their own good. Like, they were just working a lot and God love them for it. But we had a lot of time.
So in the 80s, they used to call kids like us latchkey kids. Have you ever heard that term?
No, what does that mean?
It's like from a book I read as a kid.
Okay.
And it's related to like children who have to go find a key to unlock the door themselves at night.
Yeah.
Or after school.
That is sad.
But I didn't even have a key. My mom just only had one key, so we would just leave the screen/door unlocked and hope no one broke in every day. And then me and my sisters would climb in that way. Okay, this got dark.
This is taking a turn. But does it make a lot of sense for us that was the case?
It explains so much.
It does, and that's okay. But anyhow.
So Degrassi is back to what I was saying about maybe the people that don't know the show. Degrassi was a teen drama soap opera type show, premiered in 2001, as I mentioned, and continues to this day.
Till this very minute.
This very day.
Yeah.
And that was actually the reboot back in 2001. So it had been around in the 80s.
Exactly, yes. So multiple generations. Netflix picked it up for a while. Now HBO has it. So if you haven't seen Degrassi, I mean, HBO Max should be paying us for this, but highly recommend going to watch it.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Just like go and watch.
I will say, I think the fact that Drake was on it has made it a little more mainstream. So I hope people know what we're talking about.
So Drake's character was named Jimmy, and I feel like he was one of the least exciting characters on the show.
Truly, yeah. I mean, he was a big role, but he wasn't anyone's favorite.
No, I mean, we all have a favorite. We all have a favorite.
I don't know if I know who your favorite character was.
I have a very specific favorite, Craig. I love Craig.
Get out of here. Craig, have you even seen updated? You know what? No spoilers. No spoilers.
I love Craig.
Interesting.
Emma's my favorite.
I feel like that is a very hot take.
It is a hot take. It's like a problematically hot take.
But I love you nonetheless. My favorites, and this might be a hot take as well, but Paige has always been a favorite for me, and Manny as well.
Yeah, we love Manny.
We love Manny, and I will stand by that until the day I die.
I just thought of a random thing about Manny. Do you remember the episode when they try to make her seem like a really horrible dancer in front of that new kid at the school dance? And she like flails her arms like crazy.
No, I don't feel it.
To you because it makes no sense with her character.
Yeah, she's a cheerleader. Like she is a dancer,
a gymnast, and an ice skater, and supposed to be the best at all of those things.
Right, but she can't dance. I don't buy that. It doesn't make sense in my world personally.
Is this a Degrassi podcast?
God, I wish. I wish we started it. There are some though. Shout out to the Degrassi pods out there. We should indulge in some of those. I know they exist.
Definitely. We got to support our fellow creators. So
I actually was Paige Michaelchuk for Halloween this year. I did have a fear that no one would know what that was, but you'd be surprised.
I'm glad. Thank goodness. What did you wear? Can you explain that?
Oh, so it's the Paige outfit where she says new year, new look, new Paige.
Iconic.
So she's wearing the haughty t-shirt and just the sunglasses, that look that she does.
I would probably want to be Ashley to your Paige, not I feel like I could pull Ashley.
Be goth Ashley though, like when she goes through that phase?
Yes, and I'm going to make Tyler dress up as Craig.
You're just trying to live your dream of marrying Craig.
Your boyfriend to dress up as Spinner.
Oh, that'd be the dream.
Right?
You know what's funny is I actually joked about that with Zach. I was like, since I'm being Paige, you should be Spinner. And he looked up outfits and stuff and was thinking about it, but I think
That's really
we didn't have enough time to like pull the look together for him fully.
I could also be Alex with your Paige.
And we could be lovers. The way the world was meant to be.
She was not my favorite. That girl was mean.
Alex was mean. Paige could have done better for sure.
So we're really diving in, but it's been on top of mind. Top of mind.
Absolutely.
When I was at your house last time, you just put on a random episode of Degrassi.
As one does.
From like season 8.
Right.
And it just brought me back immediately.
Absolutely.
And then I also noticed you have mentioned a Degrassi quote, I believe by Craig, in one of our first letters.
Do tell.
It's something about the way you shine. When the lights go out, I only want to make you mine. You wrote that to me.
And that's because I love you, and that is lyrics from one of Craig's songs. You know what? Craig had some bangers, dare I say. I would definitely download, aka pirate them from LimeWire. I had some of those on my iPod.
You definitely did.
Absolutely did that.
The music from Degrassi is iconic.
Yes, I will say, of all the musicians ever in Degrassi, Craig was probably the best.
Thank you. Thank you for giving him some credit.
You're welcome. I don't want to spoil spoil Degrassi for anyone listening and hasn't watched it, but Craig doesn't always do redeeming things like that, so we'll take them where we can get them.
I mean, from the beginning of this episode, I've already been talking about my own family challenges, so maybe I liked Craig because of his personal family challenges.
That is so funny how that connects.
It really, also he looks like my sister.
Craig does kind of look like your sister. I will back
I don't know what to think about that, but especially once he gets like the relaxer in
yes,
season 3.
He looks like
he had curly hair in seasons 1 and 2, and then he just like lets it flow, and I'm like, is that my sister? What is happening?
Man, whatever.
But Degrassi has also brought me back to the fashion of the era.
Oh, which I loved.
I don't know.
It was obscure.
So as a curvy girl and who has always been a curvy girl over here, I don't like the style of the early aughts.
I will say my biggest complaint is the low rise.
Freaking low rise.
That never needed to happen. Who?
A metal belt.
Who and why? Who and why?
A chain metal belt. Every time you left the house.
Low rise pants were never going to be for anyone.
Well, maybe for some skinny queens over here like you as a child, but
stop it.
No. The size I am now is a freshman in high school.
But like even then, I wouldn't have worn low-rise jeans. It was not comfortable. It wasn't even cute.
It wasn't.
Always butt crack. And I just,
you wore those with a t-shirt.
Right.
You have a midriff that's like basically if you pull your pants down any further, you're gonna see
my vagina.
An actual vagina.
Yeah, I don't like that. So I will say there's that. But what I enjoyed about the fashion in this era is how no one gave a fuck if things matched or went together. Like any type of fabric or it did not matter.
True.
You would rock that and you'd rock it all at once.
Oh, like a Canadian tuxedo? Do we know what this is?
Of course I do.
I feel like people don't understand a Canadian tuxedo.
Explain it for the good people.
Well, my best friend Craig on Degrassi loves to wear his Canadian tuxedo, which is jean on the top, jean on the bottom, maybe a jean shirt if we can throw it in there.
You know, all denim all day.
Denim hat.
Maybe a cowboy hat if you can really make it work.
He rocked it.
Isn't that what Brittany wore? Does she have a denim cowboy hat? That's why I'm thinking about
Next
it.
year, you and me, I'll be Justin. Happy to take one for the team. Can you be Brittany in a denim?
All day.
All denim dress.
All day. Yes.
This is my dream since 01. Thank you.
I'm really glad that you brought up Justin Timberlake because he triggers me and not for the reasons that one might think.
What would be the reasons that one might think?
The very upsetting situations of what's happened with him and Brittany and him and Janet.
I haven't heard about those. No, we definitely need to talk about Justin.
Yes, get out of here. So all that stuff, I'm like, ugh. I don't love that. But we had a Justin Timberlake experience.
Oh,
that was
you
for the books.
Talk about that?
I think it ties into this era.
I'm just worried about what might come out with this story.
You know what, Becca? It's been 15 years. I think that we must put ourselves under the bus with this one. I think we have no other choice.
What have we found about our Justin Timberlake memories? What do we remember?
Yeah, so I was actually reading a note you had here talking about how we were taking a limo to, now let me just paint a picture. This is the Future Sex Love Show era, Love Sound. Yes, thank you. That tour, which was incredible. I'm gonna have nothing bad to say about the show. Pink opened. She was doing her acrobatic shit. It was awesome. He, whatever you got to say about Justin Timberlake personally, fair enough. I probably would agree with you, but an amazing entertainer. And we ended up being very close. Were we front row?
Yes. We could touch him.
And
I'm pretty sure I could find photos.
Now, let's go back to the beginning of this whole situation to tell you how we got there. So, this letter here, I hate to say it, but we talk about the Justin Timberlake concert. And I'm saying I don't want to tell Jane, but we have to. And it says, we have the perfect plan. We should say that we won them on some random radio station that she doesn't even listen to. That way she can't catch us. Now, basically, what had happened? Backtrack even further. We had another friend who will not even, she's not going to make any of the notes. Sorry if you were not significant enough to make the notes. I don't make the rules, but anywho.
Don't get a pseudonym because you don't even have a name. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, man. Anywho, this friend had, I don't know if she got them for her birthday, but her parents had given her copious tickets to the front row of Justin Timberlake's show, and she invited us. We were going to go with Jane before we got this invite, but were we going to turn down A, front row tickets to Justin Timberlake, B, her parents also, why'd they have so much money? They also got us a limo to go to the show.
I'm pretty sure it was a weeknight, like a school night.
Right.
Yes.
That was crazy in retrospect. But anywho, we obviously wanted the more bougie, luxurious situation rather than being up in the nosebleeds with Jane. So we did lie. We did say we won these tickets on a radio station, which is hella funny now that I work in radio to think about. I love that. Full circle for me, and I'm living for it. Honestly, anyone, if you ever want to lie and say that I gave you something on the radio, I will back that up. If they ask me ever, I will say that is true. Anywho.
That was really nice of you, Hayley.
It's karma. I think I should owe that to the world because we did that and it was kind of fucked up, but like.
Yeah. Definitely not our best. I'm ashamed.
I'm a little ashamed. I wonder if she remembers that. If she's going to listen to this and be like, wow, they did not really win them on a radio station.
I think we saw her at the concert. How could I forget that moment? She was along the side of the general admission area where like she couldn't get to us.
Get out of here.
And she was with her other friend from elementary or middle school.
Right.
So
you know what? There's nothing to be upset about. She still went to the show. She still had someone to go with. It's not like she had to go with her parents or something like that. It was fine.
It was, but how did we explain it the next day? Oh, well, we just said that we got tickets.
From the radio station.
How did we explain the limo?
I'm sure we said that was a part of the prize. I'm sure we bullshit our way all the way through that.
Because we posted those photos.
Oh, I can picture the pictures we took in my brain because I remember they had the mirror on the ceiling of the limo. We were taking mirror pictures. We were having ourselves a freaking time. They took out all the champagne and put sodas in it.
I remember that. We had little plastic flutes and we weren't drinking.
Because like low-key, I probably would have drank champagne. And I wasn't even that kid, but if you threw me in the back of a limo...
I mean, there was that one time we tried to drink before that, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. Not in the way that we got drunk, in the way that we didn't get drunk.
Yeah, in the way that nothing occurred.
Nothing happened.
So, that was a sweet time in retrospect. We were with Jane, and that's what makes these stories so depressing because we really were all so close. We had so many first experiences with her that it is incredibly fucked that we lied to her about the concert just thinking about the things that we did share. And I remember that day vividly. We were at my mom's apartment. She had a bottle of wine. We were like, this is the day.
How did we open the bottle?
No, that's the thing, Becca. We couldn't.
Yes. Oh my God.
That was the issue. We didn't know how to open a bottle. I still barely know how to open up a bottle of wine.
Those nails. Good luck, girl.
Please, someone help.
Use one of your nails and just stick
it in the cork into I am the corkscrew, bitch. Oh my God. But yeah, we tried to open up the bottle of wine. Couldn't. I think we got like a hole in it so it was able to drip out or something obscene. You, me, and Jane each had like the littlest taste of wine. And it did nothing for us.
But doesn't Jane get the most affected? I feel like that was like a long running show, that they were the person who would get drunk.
Yeah, I don't know if Jane was just reacting like that because she thought maybe she was drunk.
Didn't we leave a dent in your mom's wall?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Was it me? It was either me or Jane. Like we fell back in a chair.
I'm going to assume it was her because she was so wasted.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my mom never questioned that or the bottle, I feel. I'm sure I made up something to cover it up.
She probably had hidden the corkscrew intentionally, like knowing.
That's the thing. Like, I wouldn't have even known how to use it. So I don't know. My mom's probably never heard that story. So this is going to be a fun treat for her. So basically, that's just another story of how we did Jane wrong time and time again, as much as we love her. But we have a lot of great times with and without her at my mom's apartment. What was really cool about, actually, my mom moved a lot, but in this specific apartment, she no longer lives in, so don't try to find my mom. But she lived near this bowling alley. Called Lita Lanes. And as Becca mentioned, I can just say Lita Lanes, right? I don't care. I'm putting whatever. It's Lita Lanes.
North, we've said Nashua.
And everything else. It's freaking Lita Lanes in Nashua.
Last names. So
whatever. It is what it is. So we lived across the street from this bowling alley. And as Becca mentioned, we were very much, is it latchkey kids?
Latchkey, yes.
So on weekends, it's not like we were up to no good. We weren't going to parties. No. We were hanging out at Lita motherfucking Lanes. And dare I say, I don't know what's worse. Because Lita Lanes was a sketchy place.
Oh my God. There were definitely child predators hanging out with us.
Sorry, Lita Lanes. I'm sure you're different now. I'm sure you've gotten better. They still exist, right? I'm assuming.
Well, they definitely closed down the portion with the glow bowling.
I didn't even know it had a glow bowling portion. So, okay. I won't miss it.
And then they also shut down the buffet.
Oh, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
That is too bad. So, yeah, this place, maybe there were predators. Maybe we were the predators at times. And we'll get into that. So, the back portion of Lita Lanes, and what made it so sketchy, is I'm going to call it a dive bar.
You could call it a den.
You could call it Kegler's Den. Because that's what it's called. So, in the back of Lita Lanes, it's closed off. So, like, we could not enter it. You needed to go through a door with an ID.
But why do I feel like we did?
I'm sure we did, but we didn't go to like the bar.
No, but I definitely think we snuck back there.
Just to see it, maybe? Yeah, that sounds like something we would do. So I kid you not, I wish I was over exaggerating this, but we would go to this bowling alley and walk around.
Yeah.
And we would just not play. I could count on one hand how many times we bowled there, and we've been there millions of times. Yeah. They did have Dance Dance Revolution, which I would dabble in now and again, but mostly we would loiter
and try to make some new friends.
Oh, and actually, we did make friends. So shout out to all the friends we've made at Lita Lanes, because you could put me and Becca on a different planet and we will come back with at least 3 friends. That's the kind of bitches we are.
You could send us to Rikers Island.
Oh God, please don't, but you could.
You could send us to Rikers Island.
Finish that thought. I need it. Mm-hmm.
You could send us to Guantanamo Bay. You could send us to fucking Gitmo.
And we're going to come back with a posse.
I can find some friends.
So quick.
I feel like our motto back in the day was strangers are just friends you haven't met yet.
We just love people. Arguably too much.
So
we'd go to Lita Lanes, we'd make friends, and we would just bounce around and we would just be seen. We would get dressed up for this.
Yep.
You know, we weren't there to bowl. We weren't there for any shenanigans. We were there to walk that catwalk. Okay?
You're putting on your best Abercrombie top. You're making sure those lashes are done right with your great lash mascara.
Absolutely. You are head to toe drenched in Bath & Body Works cucumber melon fucking spray, bitch.
What about the sweet pea, though?
Yo, I do love sweet pea as well. I do.
Sometimes I would do like a sweet pea lotion and then go over it with another spray. And
wow.
You just gotta try something new.
You really just have to expand your palette, and that's what we did at Lita Lanes. So throughout many of your notes and journal entries, I see a reference to someone who we entitled Little Jacob.
Little Jacob.
We had a few littles. We had little Daniel. That sounds creepy as hell.
I'm looking
we had many littles in our life.
I'm looking at like multiple creepy ass posters I made for you, like Little Jacob, Little Daniel. We can say their names, right?
Yeah, we don't know their last names and we never will, so it's fine.
Is it weird I do know? their last names? It's fine.
You know little Jacob's last name? No, you don't. So now we need to give context. Little Jacob was quite literally a child.
Like a 3-year-old.
Yes. Who was at Lita Lane's with his family, or I can assume. And somehow, some way, we talked to this child and spent time with this child. So much so that we have multiple pictures with this child. And little Jacob, I mean, must be how old now, would you say?
Oh my gosh, that's the weirdest part.
18?
He's probably like 20-something. I'm trying to pull up if I can find any photos with him.
That's why I feel like it's okay if we say his name, because we'll never see him again. You know what would be so sweet if we did post the pictures of us with little Jacob and see if anyone knows who that is?
That's such a good idea.
We'll do that. I mean, what the hell? Why not? What's the worst that could happen?
He was a child from Nashua, clearly a latchkey kid himself. No, just kidding.
You know what? Actually, we can assume that. I think that's why we bonded with him. Like, why were we so quickly? Why did we have him in our possession to take pictures with? And like, why did we feel so comfortable with this child that we wanted to hold on to this memory for life?
Well, I have photos with him and I'm gonna find them, but it's like me, I don't know, I'm like photo bombing him. Like, did he just want a photo alone and I just like jumped in and tried to make him uncomfortable? I don't know.
There was a lot to unpack there, and that's why I say we were potentially predators of Lita Lane's. Not sexual predators, but friendly, dare I say just overly friendly people who wanted to befriend any age, any person, and just walk around Lita Lane's with them.
And, you know, bringing back the whole idea of us being there, not actually bowling, not actually doing anything, like we didn't have disposable income.
Right. We didn't have money to just be doing these things as well. So they never kicked us out of Lita Lane's, which was really gracious. They probably just were minding their own business, didn't give a shit. I'm sure whoever worked there was like 16 high as
hell behind the counter.
Dead ass.
One person working at all times, and they were only there to give you shoes. They didn't care about anything else. There was machines doing all the other work.
That's true. That's true.
A mechanical pizza maker.
They did. That actually was pretty ahead of their time, I will say, at Lita Lane's.
Nashua, where we came from, is a very industrious place. It's very modern.
Yeah.
Places wanted to be cool, and we wanted to be cool. So Lita Lane's was the place to hang out.
Absolutely.
We also went on some cringy dates there. Those were the times we actually bowled.
Yeah, that was the only time when we had boys we wanted to impress.
Yes.
But we should have worked at Lita Lane's.
Why did we never do that?
Talking about disposable income.
I was going to kind of lead into how the same notes that mention Lita Lane's also mention over and over again you reminding us we need to look for jobs. And you were 14, Hayley.
Listen, I started working at 14 and I've never, I guess obviously from the notes I had brief moments where I didn't, but I always have been like, I want my own money.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend my own money.
Queen.
So, yeah, we looked hard for jobs together. We never ended up working together, which is probably for the best.
We never got hired.
We never got hired, literally, ever.
I remember us applying to the movie theater together that was opening that year.
Yes.
And neither of us got a call back, but then the next year I did get a job there.
I love that for you.
Through connections. It was actually nepotism, but
oh my gosh, I'm not going to question it.
Anyone.
I would love and also hate to go back and look at us in job interviews during this period of time. Because what? If we were like this, those interviews must have been the most cringy experience. I bet whoever interviewed us would go home and be like, yo, you will not believe this bitch that I had to talk to.
Memory of us being very clear that we could not work Friday nights. Like that was our night
because
together.
We had to hang out at Lita Lane.
That was our night to focus on our relationship.
And that's important.
Right?
The fact that they couldn't grasp that is on them. Because we're still fucking friends.
Look at that.
And they didn't have us. That's their loss.
The movie theater where I worked, I will say it kind of was probably the main thing that tore us apart because I worked so much in high school.
Right.
And I ended up working every Friday night because it's a movie theater. Twitter.
I know. And don't feel like you were the reason for that, because I also, when you got that job, I started working at, I'll say it because I actually enjoyed these places. I worked at Panera Bread, and then I worked at Texas Roadhouse. I have nothing but good things to say about those places, so I don't mind saying it. I would actually work.
Chains. So.
And they're chains. That's true. I would work at the Texas Roadhouse again. Like, if my radio career did not work out for me, I honestly would happily work.
Isn't there one, like, right across the street?
There is. I love the Texas Roadhouse. Anyway, that is a tangent that we don't need to go on. But we were always hardworking. We didn't choose to spend our money at Lita Lane's, but we were also a bit of mall rats, I would say.
Well, I mean, it's hard to be a mall rat when you have no money.
Right. What is am I using that term wrong? Mall rat? Is it people who hang out at the mall?
I guess, yeah. We could be like the people, like the old people that walk around and don't actually buy anything.
Yeah, that was our vibe.
We had enough money to get into Target and buy ourselves a damn popcorn and split a Coke.
That was so sweet. That was in a note I just read, and I forgot that we used to do that. They had some type of restaurant or like a pizza spot at Target. I don't know.
Pizza Hut?
I don't know. Yeah, it was Pizza Hut. And we literally, we would spend the $3 we made that week after taxes, and we would get popcorn and share a Coke and just literally talk.
It's so crazy. Like, those are core memories for me.
And now we're just doing the same thing, only into a microphone, which is so full circle and so tender.
I know. It's wholesome. What's not wholesome is what else we were doing at Target, but I have this like note I found about my theft days.
Listen, we need to unpack it, and I didn't want to come to this, but we did have a thievery. Thievery, is that a word?
I was like a little thief. I was a little sticky-fingered raccoon.
No, me, and so was you. Kind of like taught me your ways, you sick freak.
I just I learned from my friends, like I won't say their names, but my friends from middle school used to take tags off of things inside the store and then just leave them in the dressing room.
Oh my gosh.
We never did that.
You know what, Becca? Now that I really think about it, you were not the person who introduced me to shoplifting.
I was going to believe it, but I don't know.
I remember who it was. I'm obviously not going to say her name. I remember I went to the mall with this girl who I thought was so cool. And
it's always the cool ones.
Right. And I wanted to be friends with her. She was so pretty. She was like kind of MySpace famous for that time. So I remember her and I went to the mall together. At this point, I did not know she was a thief. So we're just going through the mall, and I remember being in Abercrombie, which honestly, at this point, fuck Abercrombie. I'm glad I robbed them. I don't give a shit. But
seriously, they've done enough damage for our generation.
Yeah, I earned that. So
Victoria's Secret.
Exactly. Sorry. I probably robbed them blind too. Anywho, so she brought me into Abercrombie and showed me how she would shoplift, and she would take stuff into the dressing room and do a whole little thing, and that was my introduction to shoplifting. And I will say, you and I, though, we never took any, not that this really makes it better, but we never took big ticket items.
Right. It was makeup. It was like whatever little
earrings. Yeah, little drink, not even expensive ones.
No. But then it's like, I look back and I'm definitely grateful we never got caught.
Yes.
That could have definitely been a bad path.
Right. And I'm embarrassed that I did it. I'm not proud that we did that.
I'm super embarrassed.
But we need to be transparent about who we were. And it happened.
So it's kind of like, this brings me back to latchkey kid life. I Googled the word just to make sure I wasn't like using the wrong term. I mean, at this point in the podcast, people probably have caught on that I like make up phrases. So this is not one of them, confirmed. But I just wanted to read you why I'm even more grateful that we're okay, because it says, the effects of being a latchkey kid child differ with age. Loneliness, boredom, and fear are most common for those younger than 10. In the early teens, there is a greater susceptibility to peer pressure, potentially resulting in such behavior as alcohol use, drug use, and promiscuity. The behaviors might stem from unspent energy, peer pressure to misbehave, or hostility because of the lack of appropriate adult attention. Sign me up. And then it says socioeconomic status and length of time left alone can bring forth other negative effects. In one study, middle school students left home alone for more than 3 hours a day reported higher levels of behavioral problems, depression, and lower levels of self-esteem. That doesn't really sound like us.
No, that can't apply to everyone. But we definitely grew up in an environment where that could have been.
I just didn't realize that there was like research done into the negative consequences of this. Ugh.
We're the happy stories about that, you know?
Resiliency, right?
We're resiliency, and I have no regrets about the way we spent our time, minus the shoplifting. That's my only regret here.
I hope they don't come after us for that one.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. Abercrombie sues me immediately.
We can take it out. We can cut out Abercrombie's name. Just say it was Aeropostale. No one will know. The same.
Oh, Becca, this was fun. Pretty much drawing a map to all of our adventures. And we have a lot more to explore.
Absolutely.
So let's take a breather. Let's call Little Lanes, make sure they're still open, and we'll meet next time.
And on that note, until next time.
If you like what you hear, make sure you follow us on all social media. Becca, tell them where they can find us.
Our Instagram handle is Fever Dream Diaries. Our TikTok is Fever Dream Diaries Pod. And if you want to email us, you can always send us a message at feverdreamdiaries@gmail.com.
Send us all your deepest, darkest secrets. We would love to read them. We would love to connect with you on that spiritual level. And also on our social media, we're going to be posting all sorts of content relating to the episodes. See old embarrassing photos of us. See relics from the past that will bring you back to a simpler time, right?
A time before TikTok. A time before Instagram.
Exactly.
When MySpace ruled the world.
Oh my God. A time we all yearn for. So be sure to follow us. And if you really like what you hear, leave us a freaking review somewhere, would ya?
Hell yeah. And maybe a comment, maybe like.
Yeah. If you think that someone else in this world would like this podcast, you show us some love so it can get spread to them. Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you're listening to podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. We won't be able to sleep well tonight otherwise.
Please.
We need this.